Happy Sunday, guys. I'm sitting here and I just finished up my meal plan, so I wanted to chat with you about meal planning because if you're like me at all, this is the most intimidating part of the process. About 3 years ago, when I first started this whole journey, I was a self-avowed meal planning hater. I didn't have any confidence in my ability to kind of plan through my week and my groceries. I just would kind of keep ingredients in my pantry that I could throw something together with. But what I found quickly is that it is a discipline. Takes a while to learn, but it saved us so much time and so much money, and especially because I work full time, it just eliminates unnecessary minutes and hours spent figuring out what I'm making and wasting time with my family. So it's been, like I said, a discipline that I have had to grow in. We all have different ways of doing it, and so if you are really good at this area, I would love if you want to share your tips and tricks, because I think that you'll find kind of a style that works best for you. So for me, what I typically do is I get in my sweatpants on Sundays when Caleb's napping, and I sit down and kind of look at our calendar for the week. I see, when Ben and I are working and what events we have going on, and then kind of build around that. I also look at what we have in our pantry and can kind of then budget around that as well. So I'm pretty nerdy. This is what my meal plans look like. So again, you are gonna find what works for you, and I will do things where I have, maybe I have a meal budgeted for Monday night, but I don't really feel like making it on Monday, so we have it on Wednesday instead or something like that. So I may switch up the days, but I literally have every meal and snack for me personally mapped out, and I color code it according to the portion control containers. That just helps me. I'll talk about those in a second. And then I have my workouts done at the top. So I can hold this up here so you guys can kind of see. I've got my Core de Force preview workout that I'm doing tomorrow morning. I'm gonna have Shakeology for breakfast, hard-boiled eggs and some fruit for a snack. And you can kind of go down from there and see what the meal plan is. So this really helps me, and I literally just hang this up on my fridge, and then I also do all my grocery shopping based around this. So then when I'm going through the grocery store, I'm not spending unnecessary time, wandering the aisles buying things I don't actually need, because what I buy is actually what's just on here. So that helps me a ton. I even write in when I'm having cheat meals. So Saturday morning we go to the bakery. I have a cinnamon roll, no guilt at all. I write that in so that I make sure that, it's a reminder that I am eating a cinnamon roll later that week. But I kind of just, that's what works for me. And so I sit down, I do it on the computer. I usually will use things from like the Fix 8 cookbook. That's Autumn Calabrese's. I love that one. I figured out how to modify a lot of my recipes to be a little healthier. This version of Cooking Light is out today. It's October's edition. It has some really good soups. I'm actually doing a couple recipes from here. And I'll just kind of plan out my week that way. There are some staples that we have pretty consistently. Week to week, I love doing the Sloppy Joe recipe from the Fix 8 cookbook, or we do chicken fingers a lot because I have a 3-year-old who loves dipping sauces. So you're, again, going to find what works best for you. But for me, having even the snacks kind of just paired out helps me prep my meals. It saves me time, and then it just kind of saves me from that mindless snacking because I do know exactly what I'm eating and when, which helps a ton. So that's what I do. In terms of the portion control containers, these little guys can be your best friend, and it will take you a while. I would say, give yourself for sure, honestly, 3 weeks to feel really comfortable with this. It's okay if it feels like you're swimming upstream. It's a different way of doing things, and it took me a while to kind of get in my head how I did what. And so, honestly, I don't really measure a ton anymore because I've learned so well how to visualize things to these guys that when I really need to dial things in and get back on track, I will pull these out. But I have just learned, and like you saw on my actual meal plan, I have it color-coded, so I'm keeping track of. Yellows are my biggest struggle. I just love all the carbs and all the chocolate, so this one. And if you're doing this for the first time too, don't be intimidated by the size of these guys. I promise that when you dump them out, there's a whole lot more on your plate than what you realize. And what I found is that I was eating way more of things like carbs than I was veggies or protein, and so it really helped me become aware of the areas in my diet that were lacking. I thought we ate healthy, and we did, but I realized it was totally in the wrong proportions, and so that's really helped me a lot. I'll also say give yourself grace. This is not meant to be a 3-week thing that just changes your life. Now it is in some ways, but this is more about becoming a lifestyle and kind of this journey of health as opposed to having it all down instantly and then just going back to your old habits. So it's really training your body and your mind of thinking, kind of rethinking your relationship with food as nourishment, rethinking the portions that you eat, and also rethinking the grace that you give yourself. I have a cheat meal. If I have a day where I go off track a little bit, I don't let that screw up the rest of my week. I just say, chalk that up to the time of the month or whatever it was that was going on. I'm gonna hop back on the bandwagon tomorrow because I know what to do to be successful. And that's what this group is here for, is to help us support one another and grow together and all of that. So if you're struggling, if you need help, if you need assistance, reach out. That's what we're here for. Also, you all should have access to Beachbody On Demand, and on that there is a whole Fixate cooking show. It is awesome, and it's Autumn Calabrese, who's the creator of like the 21 Day Fix and Hammer and Chisel and Country Heat and all those great programs. Even if you're not doing one of those programs, they're still really good to check out because her brother's actually a professional chef, and they teamed up to make some really amazing healthy recipes that are really, really good, really, really easy. And she also has all sorts of videos on there on prepping your kitchen, on meal planning, all sorts of things that are really helpful just to hear another perspective on stuff. So I would really encourage you, if this is an area that you're wanting to grow in a little bit, that's a great thing to check out, because I have even found it helpful, and I've been doing this for years. So questions or comments, please post below. One thing that I will say is a lot of people get intimidated by clean eating of the cost, and if you're shopping in season, that really cuts things down. And like I said, if you go in with a plan, that cuts things down as well. So I use coupons. I do apps like Checkout 51 or Ibotta, because those you can get cash back when you submit your receipts. I will, this time of year we're going to eat a lot of spinach and kale and squash, because those are the vegetables that are in season right now, and so they're way cheaper. So kind of being smart when you are planning can help cut down those costs a lot. And I have found that even with Shakeology and the other things, our grocery budget is actually less due to this. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I hope you have an awesome Sunday, and we're excited to kick off next week with you. Bye.